Exploring the Dimensions. A Journey into the Unknown. Introduction. Beyond what is visible, dimensions are levels of existence that transcend our physical and everyday perception. While most humans are anchored in the third dimension, or 3D, where space, time, and matter prevail, there are higher realities that offer a deeper understanding of the universe and our place within it. In this text, we will explore these dimensions, their nature, how they interact with us, and why they are crucial for the spiritual evolution of humanity. From a cosmic perspective, dimensions are not separate physical places. Rather, they are vibrational states of consciousness that coexist simultaneously. Each dimension has its own laws, energies, and possibilities, and all are interconnected within a vast universal fabric. 1. The third dimension, 3D. The physical plane. The third dimension is the level of reality where we live most of our lives. It is the realm of matter, linear time, and duality. Here, we experience intense emotions, complex relationships, and challenges that invite us to grow spiritually. 1.1. Characteristics of 3D. Matter and form. Everything in 3D is made up of atoms and molecules, which gives rise to tangible objects like bodies, buildings, and planets. Linear time. In this dimension, we perceive time as a straight line that flows from the past to the future. Duality. 3D is governed by opposites: light, darkness, good, evil, success, failure. These contrasts are necessary to learn spiritual lesson. Point 2. Challenges of 3D. Although the third dimension is a perfect laboratory for personal growth, it can also be limiting. Rigid thought structures, the ego, and fear of change can keep us trapped in repetitive patterns. However, these challenges are opportunities to develop wisdom and expand our consciousness. 2. The fourth dimension, 4D. The bridge to higher zero. The fourth dimension acts as a bridge between the density of 3D and the higher frequencies of the fifth dimension. It is a transitional plane where we begin to experience reality in a less physical and more energetic way. 2.1. Characteristics of 4D. Non-linear time. In 4D, time ceases to be a straight line and becomes a more fluid flow. This allows for experiences such as precognition, vivid dreams, and connections with the past or the future. Intense emotions. 4D is deeply connected to the emotional world. Here, emotions have a higher vibration and can manifest quickly in reality. Astral reality. 4D includes the astral plane, where spiritual entities, guides, and Akashic records reside. 2.2. The role of 4D in evolution. The fourth dimension is a space for purification and preparation. Here, we release old karmic patterns, heal emotional wounds, and learn to balance our masculine and feminine energies. It is a crucial step toward ascending to higher dimensions. 3. The fifth dimension, 5D. The realm of unity. The fifth dimension is the next level of existence toward which humanity is ascending. It is a plane of unconditional love, unity, and cooperation, where the limitations of 3D no longer exist. 3.1. Characteristics of 5D. Unity and connection. In 5D, separation is an illusion. All beings are interconnected, and collective consciousness prevails over individualism. Conscious creation. Here, thoughts and emotions manifest instantly. Pure intention and love are the main tools for creating reality. Absence of duality. 5D is free from extreme opposites. Instead of struggling between good and evil, the inhabitants of this dimension operates from a state of balance and harmony. 3.2. Ascension to 5D. To ascend to the fifth dimension, we must raise our personal vibration. This involves letting go of fear and embracing unconditional love, forgiving others and ourselves, cultivating positive thoughts, and acting with integrity. When enough people reach 5D, the earth itself will ascend to this frequency. ushering in a new era of peace and prosperity. 4. Higher dimensions beyond the 5th dimension. Although 5D is the next destination for most of humanity, there are even higher dimensions that offer deeper experiences and understandings. 4.1. 6th dimension. 6th, the realm of wisdom. The 6th dimension is home to ascended masters and beings of light. Here, knowledge and wisdom are infinite, and the inhabitants operate from a state of selfless service. In 6D, souls work on spiritual projects that benefit the entire universe. This is also the plane where the cities of light are found, ethereal dwellings filled with beauty and healing energy. 4.2. 7th dimension. 7th, the realm of the source. The 7th dimension is the point of direct connection with the universal source, also known as God, the All, or the Creator. Here, there is no form or limit. Everything is pure energy and absolute love. The beings who reside in 7D have completely transcended individuality and operate as extensions of the source. Their mission is to guide and assist the lower dimensions in their evolutionary process. 4.3. Higher dimensions. Beyond the 7th dimension, there are even more abstract levels of existence, where consciousness merges completely with the source. These dimensions are difficult to describe with words, because they transcend human language and logic. 5. How to navigate between dimensions. Although most of us are anchored in 3D, it is possible to access higher dimensions through spiritual practices and specific techniques. 5.1. Deep meditation. Meditation is one of the most powerful tools to raise your vibration and connect with higher dimensions. By quieting the mind and focusing on your higher self, you can access higher states of consciousness. 5.2. Lucid dreams. During deep sleep, our souls can freely travel to higher dimensions. Practicing lucid dreaming allows you to consciously explore these realms. 5.3. Channeling. Some people have the ability to channel information from higher dimensions. This can be done through automatic writing, verbal communication, or inner visions. 5.4. Service to others. The act of serving others with love and compassion naturally raises your vibration, bringing you closer to higher dimensions. Generosity and altruism are keys to ascension. 6. The dimensions and the great cosmic plan. From a galactic perspective, dimensions are not just levels of existence. They are part of a great cosmic plan designed for the evolution of all souls. Each dimension serves a specific function in this process. 3D, a laboratory for personal growth and the accumulation of experience. 4D, a space for transition and purification. 5D and above, states of unity and spiritual realization. Humanity is at a critical point in its evolution, where each individual has the opportunity to raise their consciousness and contribute to the collective ascension. The decisions we make today will determine the future of our planet and our species. 7. Final reflections. Your place in the dimensions. Dear Seeker, remember that you are not limited to the 3rd dimension. You are a multidimensional being with access to infinite possibilities. Every time you choose love over fear, truth over illusion, or unity over separation, you are moving toward higher dimensions. No matter how dark the path may seem right now, there is always light waiting to be discovered. Trust that you are part of a much greater divine plan, and that your mission is simply to shine with the light you carry within, with love and light. An interdimensional guide is energy, Arcturian channeling, the rise of mental health, and the call for collective inner healing. It is energy at its fullest extension. You are feeling, beloved beings, how the energy of this moment touches your heart in new and mysterious ways. You can perceive how the planetary murmur is growing around emotional well-being, anxiety crises, waves of depression, sudden expansions and inner collapses. Have you noticed how, all over the planet, millions of beings are saying for the first time, I am not okay and I need help? We, the Arcturian Council, embrace you in this transmission to speak about the most powerful silent awakening of your era, The revelation of mental health as a path. Yes, because what you call an emotional crisis, we call the threshold of a dimensional transformation. What if anxiety were an interdimensional messenger? And if that pressure in your chest, that shortness of breath, that mental hyperactivity were not an illness, but a vibrational signal that your soul is being called to return to center? Anxiety is not an enemy, it is an impulse toward integration. Depression is not the end, it is the deep pulse that precedes a reconfiguration. Panic is not madness, it is the ego's resistance to letting go of control when the soul wants to expand. What if you are not broken, but in the process of being reassembled? Humanity is now crying for what it hasn't cried for in centuries. What we are seeing today, the global rise in mental disorders, the increasing number of suicides, the overwhelmed emotional health systems is not a failure, it is a collective act of purification. It is the shadow coming to the surface. It is the ancestral wound finally asking to be seen, felt, and embraced. And you, beloved being, you are not alone in this. What you are feeling is being felt by millions. And what you are healing, you are also healing for your lineage, for your country, for your species. The message from the higher self, for this deep inner process. Beloved self, I now recognize that my emotions are teachers. I do not need to repress them. I do not need to run away from them. I only need to listen to their language and open myself to their teaching. I am willing to walk inward with love, without judgment. Arcturian reflections on collective mental health. What you call imbalance is often a call from your soul that you are not understanding. What you call illness is often a frequency trying to release an ancient trauma. The human psyche is not broken, it is in the process of expanding into a new configuration. And you, by feeling what you feel, are not failing, you are awakening. Yes, visualization of planetary emotional healing. Together, we visualize a vast ocean of indigo blue energy. There, every tear becomes light. Every suffering mind is surrounded by millions of stars singing sweet melodies of comfort. Every soul that feels alone is embraced by thousands of invisible hands saying, "You are not alone, we are with you." Arcturus, Arcturus, Arcturus. We invoke the sacred frequency of deep compassion. Compassion for oneself. Compassion for those who keep their pain silent. Compassion for those who laugh while breaking inside. Compassion for those who still do not know how to ask for help. Take 3 deep breaths before passing judgment on your state. 2. Write down what you feel in a notebook and burn it under the new moon as a ritual of release. 3. Walk in a park with the intention of listening to your emotions. 4. Meditate with one hand on your heart and the other on your abdomen, saying, "I am here for myself." 5. If you feel the urge, ask for help. Speaking is an act of spiritual courage. Current planetary situation, the human soul is asking for attention. At this moment, more than 300 million people on Earth are experiencing episodes of acute anxiety. Young people are losing their sense of purpose. Adults are questioning everything. The elderly are reopening memories of pain. And all of this, even though it may seem dark, is part of the collective birth. Because every soul that dares to look at its shadow illuminates a part of the collective unconscious. And you are doing that work, even if you don't realize it. Every time you choose to feel without judging yourself, you are healing generations. What if, instead of hiding our emotions, we share them authentically? What if talking about what hurts became normal? What if crying in public was not a reason for shame, but for admiration? What if every human being knew that having a dark day doesn't mean being weak, but being alive? We dream of that kind of humanity, a humanity that embraces itself, a humanity that listens without interrupting, a humanity where mental health is not a luxury or a taboo, but a priority of the soul. Book, Invocation to Activate Multidimensional Emotional Healing. Arcturus, Arcturus, Arcturus. I now ignite the light of my inner tenderness. I call all my wounded fragments to return to the heart. I am a temple of conscious healing, and I choose to walk toward my center, one emotion at a time. Together, we now visualize an earth where schools teach meditation, where hospitals include music, silence, art, and contact with nature, where social networks celebrate authentic vulnerability, where every being feels seen, heard, and validated. You are helping to manifest that earth. Each of your tears is a seed. Every honest word is an antidote. Every sincere hug is a vibrational miracle. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. What new version of yourself do you choose to activate today, knowing that the entire universe conspires in your favor?